So y'all, this past weekend I was in New York, and I'm like officially out of New York now. Chris and I moved out all of our stuff out of our old apartment, and it was really bittersweet. It was like, we really don't live here anymore. Like, we created so many memories in that space, and like, I'm not a hoarder by any means, but like, I really had trouble getting rid of stuff because I was like, do you remember that shirt from when? So yeah, New York that chapter is closing, and I have a lot more updates, and I'm going to do just a full update hour in a couple weeks and give you guys just a full rundown of what's happening, where we're going, all that. You guys already know I'm in Dallas, but I probably won't be here for too much longer. So I'll give you all some updates, though. The other thing that happened this weekend was my friend Natasha. Hey, Natasha. Natasha's been on the podcast. She is like a dance hall queen, and Natasha hears any sort of like soca or dance hall or reggae come on, and she's just like lit. And I don't have that sort of rhythm. Like, I wasn't born with that, and I'm jealous that Natasha was, because she's not even Jamaican. She's Ghanaian, but still Guyanese, not Ghanaian. So anyway, she was trying to teach me how to dance, and there's this video where she's like holding my legs in the air, and I'm literally trying to twerk. It's the worst. So these are the things I will miss about New York. But anyway, welcome my guest tonight. Hi, is it Asea?
Asia. What's
Asia?
good?
Okay, my bad. I completely messed that up.
It's okay. I get worse. I get a lot worse.
What else? What do people say?
Asea.
Acai berry? No.
Anything with an Asi, you know what I'm saying? They just jack it up. It's pretty much how it goes.
How's your night going?
It's going pretty good, you know.
So you have some twins at home. You came here from twins. Wow.
Yeah, today they gave me a run for my money. You know what I'm saying? They really put me to work today.
How was that?
I had two white ladies come up to me very concerned in the parking lot, like, can I help you? Is there anything I can do? And I'm like, you are so sweet, but no.
What were they doing?
I mean, they were falling out, screaming because they wanted to go to the arcade. And I was like, nah, we're good. Like, we just got off the carousel. We just had a great time at the mall. Like, it's time to go. And they were like, no, mommy. And
are they boys, girls?
Two girls. Yeah, they really like full blown fell out. And we're screaming all the way to the car. So I got one in one arm, one on the other arm. They're both like falling backwards. I'm like, but we made it home. So
how did you feel when you found out you were going to have twins?
Honestly, I didn't have a chance to react. My husband did the reacting. So he was like full blown out, about to pass out in the chair, and I'm just looking at him like dying laughing. I couldn't have a response. So I mean, he had both of our responses, you know what I'm saying, all in one.
So he was shocked, to say the least.
Yeah, he was very shocked. I took a picture of it because it was just that funny. But, I mean, I was more so, like, it hit me a couple days later. And I think I was just like, oh, dang, like, it's two bodies inside of me. Like, what's that going to be like? So, but it ended up.
And these are your first kids and his?
Mm-hmm. First time, got to.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I kind of want twins only because I would love to have more than one child, but I don't want to be pregnant more than once.
Yes and no. So, like, yes, that's great, but no, that pregnancy was a beast, though. Like,
and you're not a big person, so like, I'm just imagining you with like a belly the size of you.
It was so heavy. It was so heavy. I had to get one of those like belt things that you put underneath, and it like supports your belly. Yeah.
Oh, like props it up?
Yes.
I've never even seen that.
It's called a maternity cradle, I think. That junk was heavy, like, and I didn't even make it the whole way. Like, I had them at 33 weeks. So, it's pretty early, but that belly was big. Like, yeah,
wow.
It was big and pointy, like a boob, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had 3 boobs. Junk was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
So how was it when they first got here?
Honestly, it was a little bit different because we had NICU time. So they were in the prenatal, intensive care unit or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So they were there for like 2 weeks. And so that was really hard, having to go back and forth to the hospital. I just pumped the whole time. And I don't know, we just wanted them home.
Once they came home, was there a lot of like...
my mom actually
they're ours now.
No, because we had help right off the bat. My mom came, and I'm a real organized type of a person. So I had alarms set for every 3 hours. We were up. We were feeding them on the clock, like clockwork. So it was good. It was just like you're sleepy. You're like a zombie just walking around.
See, I would do it. Unless you get up, I'm not getting up. Like, I know you should be fed, but your body will let you know if you're hungry enough to wake me up.
But see, we couldn't do that because of their weight. You know, we had to make sure they were continually progressing. Because my daughter Kylie was born at 2 pounds and Aubrey was born at 4. So
that's what I want to name my daughter.
Really, Kylie or
Aubrey Rose.
Oh, okay. Or hers is Aubrey Grace. So
oh, okay.
They'll be different. It's cool. You can have it. You can have the name. It's cool. But yeah, so I mean, I really enjoyed having twins. I wouldn't want it any other way. But that struggle gets real, though. Not gonna lie to you.
Having kids for the first time, did it shift the relationship between you and your husband?
I would say in some ways. I mean, we both wanted to have kids. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, snap. Like, we were trying. So in a way, we had time to prepare our minds and our hearts for it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it was still a bit of an adjustment. Getting used to having that attention poured into 2 little beings and, figuring out how we're going to keep the spark going, between each other and still look at each other with googly eyes and I'd be like, bro, I'm tired. Back up. You know what I'm saying?
How do you do that? Especially when you got twins, it's like, I am tired. Listen, I don't want to touch you. Don't touch me.
It's real, for real. It does. And especially, being a full-time blogger, it's like, bro, I got to film tonight, so I'm going to need you to go to bed. I'm going to go do my thing. But just making time, honestly, and, just making time for each other. That's what we had to learn to do. So.
How long have you been married?
6 years now, going on 7, I believe. Yeah.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 26. I'll be 27 in August. So I got married at 20.
You weren't even old enough to drink when you got married.
I wasn't, and that sucked because I wanted something to drink, but it was like, nah, bro. But yeah.
Why did you get married so young? Like, how long were you guys together before that?
Yeah, we were only together for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what made you guys decide to do it?
Oh, man. It was just like the way that we got together. It was like we were both in the space of like, I don't want to date for fun no more. You know what I'm saying?
At 20, you were in the space of not wanting to date for fun?
I came out of high school like,
I just left that phase. I'm 35. I just left that phase.
I came out of high school like, listen, I'm done. I'll be single till it's time. Like,
What happened in high school that you were already that stressed out?
It's just, I've always had this inclination of the type of family that I wanted to have, of the type of woman that I wanted to be. And when I was dating in high school, I was dating knowing like, I ain't gonna marry this clown. I'm just doing it for entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to go out. I want a Valentine, But I finally got to a place where I was like, I can't put my emotions out there like that and give, even when it's something that I know that's not going to last, I still would get hurt. I'm up here thinking like, oh, I'm a dog. Like, I got all these dudes. What's good? Look at me. I'm pretty. I can get who I want. I was stealing people's prom dates. I thought I was like that chick. But when the dude who I was talking to in high school broke up with me, it was like through a text message. And I actually cried. I'm like, dang, are these thug tears? Like, no, this is like real emotional. This is some real emotions. Like, what's going on? So I had to just really have I call it like a come to Jesus moment where you really look at your heart like, what's going on? Why am I doing this? What's leading me to pursue these things, And I had to really just look at myself like, what's going on? And that's when I just gave it up. It's like I gave up trying to create the perfect relationship. I had talked to this dude. And he was like my checklist. I call him the checklist dudes, where you write down your list. And he had everything on the checklist.
And this is in high school?
This is in high school. The summer after I broke up with dude. Well, actually, dude broke up with me in a text message. We ain't going to talk about that. But after that happened, I had my checklist dude. And he met everything on the checklist. I was like, yes, like this could work. You know what I'm saying? I crafted this up. Turns out dude was just as broken as me, and there was nothing to kind of help him to move past his issues. He just was caught up with some chick and he ended up hurting me too. I'm like, listen, I don't got time. So when I talk to somebody for fun, I get hurt. When I craft up my own list, I get hurt. So how about I'm going to just give it all up and just wait.
So you were like, I'm not dating.
I'm not dating. I wasn't looking when I found my husband. I was like, I'm straight.
So how did you guys meet?
We met at a Bible study, okay? First off, my roommate, I moved into this, my teammate because I ran track. I moved
What did you run?
I ran the 4, the 8, and cross country, 4x4. So I was.
Oh, you did the hard races. I did the 1 and the 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't do anything over 2. Over 4, I'm like, it's distance, but it's a sprinting. No.
Listen, that's like the sprinter motto. Like, I don't do nothing over 2. Like, I'm good. Like,
I can only run so fast over 200 meters.
I wish. I mean, I only had like that long distance endurance. If I had more of that fast twitch, I would have been there right with you. But I was naturally good at longer distances, so that's what I did, you know.
So you read a Bible study.
Yeah, so
studying the Bible.
Well, listen, like my roommate was real dope, real cool person. And she was like, oh, you're a nice little Christian girl. You know, I got this dude, you know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all would be great, you know. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need you to try to hook me up with it. She brought a picture out the back, was like, look, he's cute, you know what I'm saying? He's fine. I'm like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. He's not my type. I'm all good. You know.
Why wasn't he your type?
I mean,
like just
the
physically
picture,
you weren't.
The picture wasn't doing nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, no, I'm straight. I'm good. You know. So we ended up meeting. I want to say like maybe like a few days later, he came over because we were having like a Bible study, just me, her, another one of our close friends, and him. And so literally he was looking at me like I was her mentee. Like, oh, this chick going through it. She a track girl, so she probably a slut because, you know, track girls didn't have that good of a rep. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, do track girls have a slut reputation?
At my college, they did.
Oh, well, track girls aren't sluts.
Because he was a football player.
Oh, okay.
So you got to think about it. Like, his homeboys were bagging my teammates, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like...
Got it.
Automatically, he's going to assume, like, oh, she probably...
Got it.
So, and I had on this wig, right? And so he hates wigs, so he just automatically was like, "Oh, she must be going through something because that wig is busted. She over here."
Was the wig busted?
I thought I was cute.
You know what though? I have to say, it's hard for a wig not to look busted. I've only seen 1 out of every 10 wigs I see. I'm like, that looks all right.
And I mean, we're talking about like pre-lace frontal on, you know, 1,000 where the lace is all melted. We're talking pre that, okay? I had the Nicki Minaj bank, and it was a bob. It was a synthetic wig, shiny. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even put baby.
So it was kind of busted.
I mean, maybe he had a point. I mean, I don't know, but all I know is I thought I was cute, but he obviously didn't. And then, you know, homeboy had like, you know, the little scruff, no shave November, so he was looking a hot mess too. I wasn't stunning. I'm over here like, what's wrong with him?
You're looking a mess. I got a busted wig, whatever.
So that was our first encounter, and we were not stunting each other at all, not even a little bit.
So then how did it progress beyond that?
Well, I mean, after Bible study, me, him, and our mutual friend were just up talking and sharing like our testimonies and stuff, and homegirl passed out on the couch. So me and him just started talking about our past, you know, what it was like growing up. And we found out we had a lot of commonalities. And it was the first time we were like, oh, they're kind of cool. Still don't think you're cute, but you're cool, you know? So we became friends at that moment. I didn't even give him my number. Like,
you're going to have to call her if you want to talk to me.
Right. You better find a way over here because I ain't stunning you. So, you know, our friendship was strictly kind of like through her. For a long time, like a month and a half.
Literally, you did all your commute. You could tell him he could come by.
He would come over because, I mean, he came over there all the time anyway, you know, because he was a football player and he had given his life to Christ like that summer. So he was like wilding before that. So he didn't have like many friends that wasn't wilding. So
got it.
He kind of hung out with them because it's like, okay, I can come over here and I'm not going to get drunk because I'm with y'all. Y'all going to hold me accountable type of a thing, you know? So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it all started off.
So then how did it progress from a friendship to maybe we should try this out? Your wig is not so busted.
Well, you know, I mean, after a while of just being friends, he had like shaved, you know, they had came back from.
He had finally shaved. That's all he had to do.
He finally shaved. My wig was gone, you know, I had my hair looking all fly and stuff. And we used to always have like little college things where people would come over, we'd play games and be fun. And me and him would always be spades partners. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, I guess just spades did it, you know, that little spark flew like, oh yes, my man just put down the right card. Look at you looking fine with your haircut, you know what I'm saying? And he had like his guns was out and stuff, girl. I was like, oh, actually is cute. Like, what? So I don't know. Eventually, we were like just chilling or whatever on the couch, just talking and stuff like that. And we were watching a TV show, and his hand touched my hand, girl. And it felt like I was like a kindergartner or something. I was like, it was like all the butterflies and sparks was flying around in the room and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, man, I like this dude. I popped up so fast, girl. And all he did was touch my hand. Like, it was serious, but not really. I don't know. So I feel like.
So then wait, what did he say when he touched your hand?
He didn't say anything, but he had the same feeling too. So he ended up asking for my number and stuff, trying to say like, hey, I like you. And I was like, I don't feel the same way as you.
Why did you say that?
I was scared.
Like, you got all these butterflies. The thing is, I don't like you.
I shut him all the way down. I was like, I don't feel the same way as you. I don't think that you should get my number. I don't know. We should just be friends.
What were you scared of?
Just, I guess, going into another relationship. My friend actually talked to me afterwards and was like, girl, you need to stop. You like dude. Like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like this? And so I called him back and I told him like how I really felt, and I gave him my number that night. But I had shot him down first, though.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's nice to test a man's ego.
You know what I'm saying?
Because some men can't recover from that. Like no, seriously,
for real.
Like some men really get so hurt over
you just saying
no that they like their ego can't take it, and then if you do come back around, they're like, I'm good. Just playing ego games. So I'm glad. Sometimes I think an ego. Wow. Needs to be tested really just quickly just to see where dude is at.
I'm glad he made it through that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because that could have been detrimental. But yeah, he popped back up. He dusted his shoulder off and was like, "Hey, I'm good. You pushed me down, but I'm good."
So you go from okay, I don't think you're cool to I think you're cool to okay, let's do this. I have butterflies. So how does that go to a year and a half later? Let's get married.
So we were.
How old is he, by the way?
He'll be 30 in July.
Okay, so he's a little older, but not much.
Not much,
okay.
Yeah. So we were talking for, I want to say like 4 months, maybe. It might have been 3 months. And I started to feel like we were in this gray area, And so I was just like, I don't like gray areas. Like, either we're going to be friends or we're going to date.
So it wasn't official?
No, it wasn't official. But, if I saw him boot up with some chick, I would be offended.
Right.
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just talked to him. I was like, yeah, so what we're going to do, like, do you want to get together, like, or do you want to just be friends? Because we can't be here in this middle ground or whatever. So he got up. We were at my place. He got up. He went to the bathroom and had a little bathroom break. I don't know what he was doing, like if he was praying or like what was going on. But he eventually came back and was like, oh, yeah, you want to be my girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, let's make this thing official. So yeah, I just had to call him out because I was just like, bruh, you're not about to just keep me over here in the gray area.
No, I like that you nipped it in the bud right away.
Like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. So yeah. But we both came into the relationship with the perspective of, the next person that I date, I'm going to marry. So from the jump, we weren't even trying to talk to each other if we weren't in that type of a mentality.
Wow. Can I ask, were you guys celibate?
I was. He was not.
Okay.
He was celibate. He wasn't a virgin. I was a virgin. He was not.
Okay.
And that was a challenge for him, too, because it's like, how do you go from that to none? You know what I'm saying? So he was having his own battles in his own personal time. But a lot of that battle took place before I even came in the picture. So,
Got it. So then when you guys decided to get married so early, does your family say anything like, yo, you're 20? Does it like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there was a little bit.
Because I think nobody should get married before 30. So
there was a little bit.
Yeah. What did they say?
A lot of the biggest concerns were like, oh, you're not going to finish school or you're not going to get good grades.
Because you were still in college.
Mm-hmm, I was, I still had one more year. So a lot of the concern was there. But we kind of proved everybody wrong. We both got straight A's our final semesters. He was in grad school and I was a senior and we both got straight A's. So it was like, hey, I can do this thing, So
why not wait the extra year though?
What for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to, I didn't want to put that stress on our relationship, because for me, it was important for us to kind of do things in a biblical way, because that's what I founded our relationship on, and he founded our relationship on, kind of like biblical principles. So for me, like that sexual stress was like for real, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, like, I don't know if we gonna make it. Like, we might as well. And it wasn't like we got married to have sex, but we got married just, you know, because it didn't make sense for us to prolong it when we knew it was what we're gonna do anyways.
What was the transition, I guess, from just being sort of like single, doing you, to now I'm a wife? Was that a hard transition, or was it just something, it was naturally sort of innate in you?
You know, it wasn't. The hardest thing for me was the same. It's like the same thing. The hardest thing for me was like the sexual part, because I've never had like a sex drive, I guess. Like, I mean, I did, of course. But like, I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not on the same level as dude, you know, it's my husband. So that was hard for me, because in the beginning of our marriage, it actually wasn't that great for me. It was very painful. Can I talk about
Yes, that? Of course, girl.
Okay, so like, yeah, it was like pretty painful. So getting through that, it made me feel like a failure in a sense. Like, you know, I know I hear all these people who are like, my sex life is great and I'm a porn star in the bed and a classy lady in the streets. And I'm over here like, bro, this junk sucks
not the
forever.
first time they did it.
You know, I'm like, this sucks. And I'm talking about like 8 months in, it still sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, and it made me feel like a failure. Like, it's broken down there. What's going on? You know, so it was just really hard. That was the hardest part for me, I think. And I also was mad at God, because I'm like, bro, why is it that, you know, I'm over here trying to do things your way, and you know what I'm saying, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't have my back for real, because I'm over here and it sucks, you know? And so that was a bit of a struggle for me too, because I was very disappointed, but it ended up getting better over time.
So how did you guys get through that?
Just took a lot of time, like, and I went to the doctor and they gave me suggestions and stuff, which like basically like foreplay, these cone things, like just a bunch of stuff. Here's a cone, stick it up there. You know, this is so personal. Wow. But you know, they just,
you know, a lot of people have had a cone or two up them. No big deal.
Yeah, so you know, that pretty much was like pretty helpful, and over time I just matured as a woman, I think. And
I think too, like at 20, you're not necessarily at the comfort level with your body and knowing it in the way that you probably are now. You know what I mean? So even though it's like, yeah, this is my husband, yeah, this is what we're supposed to be doing now, it's like, I'm also 20 and like haven't necessarily had the experience of, this is exactly what pleases me, this is exactly what I like, this is what I don't like. And that's true. Yeah, it there is a lot of trial and error there that generally takes place. Yeah. But like you didn't have that. So like, yeah, the trial and error took place in the marriage.
Yeah, which is in a sense kind of cool, because it's like we have that to share with each other, you know, so that's cool. But at the same time, that struggle was real though. Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna sit up here in front. It was real. So yeah, but we made it through, and eventually we ended up having like 3 years before we had our kids, which was pretty dope.
I think that's really good that you guys did that. That's really important. Like when you get married, I feel like you need that time where it's just you to know each other as husband and wife, and be able to fully give each other that attention before all your attention is given to your kids. Yeah,
and it's, I think, really good just to build that foundation too, because even through all of those years, we changed so much during that time period, you know? Like I wasn't the same Asia that he knew at 19, you know? So just being able to get to know each other as we evolve was pretty cool too.
Now, for some people, that can be really good. And then for other people, that can be really detrimental in terms of, it's like, well, you're not the person that I knew. And obviously you're not going to be the person that you were at 19. But there is a really big shift, I think, that happens from that age to like the age you are now, and probably in the next couple years. So how have you guys navigated those shifts and like who you were at, you know, 19 and 22, 23 to who you're becoming, without feeling like, man, like you've really changed and I don't like that change? Like, how do you navigate those sort of changes?
I mean, I think it's all in the perspective, you know, like I don't expect him to stay the same in he doesn't expect me to say the same either. But when there are changes that are detrimental, we talk about it. We hash it out. But other than that, like, if you're growing, if you're maturing, if you're coming into your own, like, who am I to stop you? Do your thing. Like, I want to get to know you at your full potential, whatever that is, even if it doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. If it's not detrimental, do your thing, I just think it comes out of a place of love and just understanding that we don't reach our peak. We're always evolving. We're always growing. We're always changing. Even when you're old, there's something new to you. You know what I'm saying? And so to be able to see that in a person from, 24, I think he is, until like whenever he passes on is a blessing. Like, that's a cool thing to be able to say, like, I saw him through all these different stages. So I would never want to hinder that because I fell in love with this one version of him. Mm-hmm. I would rather see, like a butterfly, him go through each stage and, see what the end result is. And I feel like he feels the same way about me. But again, there are certain things that we do have to hash it out. Like, hey, I see this and I feel like this is detrimental for our relationship or for our children. And, those things we gotta take up with ourselves and make changes, So.
And how do you argue? How do you hash those things out?
Sometimes it goes great. Sometimes it doesn't.
Do you guys have like a process or anything?
Usually my husband, we're two different people. So he's one who's like, hey, let's talk about it right now. Let's open this up right now. Let's have a discussion. That's kind of the culture that his mother brought him up in. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a, hey, I need to think about this. I need to find out where I stand on it, how I'm feeling, and then let's talk about it. So if you bring me a can of worms, I'm like, all right, let me take it to my room. Let me think about it, and I'll come back.
Right.
So being able to navigate between those two things has been kind of challenging, but we managed to do it just through being straight up with each other. Like, hey, I need this time right quick. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't. And he always gets the consequence of that decision, right? So when he doesn't, the consequence is it ends up being a blow up and somebody has to apologize.
And it's not productive because you're trying to talk to me when I'm not ready to talk. Exactly. And so it's just not a productive conversation. So stop trying to talk to me.
Exactly.
I know this firsthand because I go through that same thing where it's like, because my boyfriend's the same way, where he's like,
I need to talk about it.
We need to talk about this right now. And it's like, well, right now I'm so mad that nothing I say will be productive. So
exactly. I'm going to hurt your feelings.
If you want to be unproductive, let's be unproductive. But I'd rather just wait till I could be productive.
Right. And that's where it is most of the time. And I feel like over time it's gotten better. Like, I've had to tell him even in the beginning, I was like, listen, you need to pick your battles. Okay. You want to sit up here and criticize and tell me every little thing that you see. Pick. You need to pick one or two things. You feel me? Don't come at me with everything.
Pick your struggle.
Right. Because I see a lot of stuff and I'm not hounding you down. You know what I'm saying? So, we really had that. But he's gotten so much better and he gives me more grace now. Because I'm like, bro, like he's critical on himself and others. Mm-hmm. Most people, they're just critical on other people. But he's critical on himself and others. I'm like, cool, bet. Put that energy back inside, okay, and pick a few, okay? We're not going to do bash Asia, because you don't like when I bash you. You feel me? So let's just bring it on back. Give me a little grace and try to get to know me as a person and understand why I do the things I do. Mm-hmm. So that really helped us in our relationship, too, because he's able to see things from my perspective more so rather than just surface level.
Right. So, what do you think the hardest part of marriage is?
Communication for us. Communication, because we came up in two different households, two different styles of communicating. We value different things as far as like how a conversation should go or what the outcome should be. It's just all very different, and bringing those two perspectives into one has been a challenge. Mm-hmm.
So how do you value, you say you value different things in terms of what should come out of communication. So what do you value versus him?
For him, he wants to feel respected, right? He wants to feel respect. I just want to be free. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to say what I want to say, how I want to say it, when I want to say it. You know what I'm saying? And
so even if you're mad,
well, if I'm mad, I want to go back.
Got it.
I want to go, and I want to go in a corner. I want to have my time. He's like, I want to be honest. I want to talk. I want to,
So you're saying you don't want to have to compose things in a certain way. You want to just talk based on how you're feeling in that moment.
Exactly. Got it. Yeah. And if I feel like what I'm saying is not productive, I don't want to talk at all.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. But for him, he really needs to have like open communication all the time. And I'm like, there's a time and a place. I'm like, everywhere is not the time. Everywhere is not the place. And I feel like we need to be mindful of that. And he's just like, I don't want to be in a position where I feel like we're not good and I have to still be married to you. So we're out here in public. You're mad at me. I'm mad at you. You know what I'm saying? So that's where our values kind of conflict. It's like, I need us to feel, he's like, I need us to feel like we're married all the time. And I'm like, I need us to talk about it at a proper time and place. I don't care what you feel like right now, okay? If you got to fake it. But we're not finna talk about it right now, you know? So it's just these two different perspectives and being able to be like, okay, where do we compromise? How do we make this work?
But in a way, like, this is one of the things I'm learning is it isn't what you say, it is how you say it, you know? Because I'm similar in the way that I like to just say things as they come to my mind. Sometimes I don't even think about them. They just flow from my brain out of my mouth. There's like no filter in between my brain and my mouth. Because in a relationship, I sort of feel like you're probably the one person or one of few people that I can actually have that with, where I don't have to filter what I'm saying, where I can just say it straight out. So I like that freedom. But at the same time, like, we're all humans and we take things a certain way. And it could be like the inflection in the voice or the tone, or, you know what I mean? And it can make people feel just like, well, dang, I feel disrespected now based on like your tone or your voice or whatever it may be. And so I get what you're saying, because I'm there. Like, I just want to say, I don't want to have a filter with you. That's why I'm with you. So I don't have to have that. But at the same time, it's like, well, I wouldn't, if I was mad at my mom, I wouldn't necessarily talk to her in that tone. I might just be like, let me just shut up right now because she's good. You know, so it's like, yes, we have to be real, but at the same time, we have to still give that respect. And it's hard when you're in the moment, which is why you're like, I need some space when I need my space.
It all goes in a circle.
Yeah.
Like, I want to give you respect, so let me walk away because I can't give it to you right now. You know? So, yeah.
What do you think the best thing about marriage is?
I think it is that, like, watching the person evolve thing, you know, and having a best friend for life, because our whole entire relationship was built on a friendship. So literally, I get to be with my best friend forever, you know? So I think that's the greatest part. Even when my kids leave me, which sounds crazy because they're 3, but eventually, like, they're going to leave me, I'm going to have him. That's what I'm rocking with. And that feels good to know that I could do life with somebody like that. Like, he's going to be the one person who's been in my life the longest besides my mom, you know? So that's pretty dope. So do you guys, like, agree on parenting and how all that flows? Yeah, for the most part, we have come to agreement on a lot of things. There'll be little tiny, and when I say little tiny things, I mean really little tiny things. Like, I painted the girls' toes 2 weeks ago, and Kylie picked red and Aubrey picked blue. And my husband was like, red seems like a little too grown for a 3-year-old. I'm like, but why? Like, can we dive into this? Like, where are you getting this from, you know? And that conversation was like, not really, it didn't go that well, but.
Where was he getting that from?
I don't know. I still don't know. I just think he was like, it shouldn't be that deep. Like, I should be able to have my own opinion. These are my daughters. Like, it shouldn't even be a thing. And I'm just like, but I can respect it, but I just want to know, like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what's the reason,
Where is this coming from? But it was like, I would feel better if it had like polka dots or something, you know, like, okay, you know, whatever.
Now, since you're like a planner, do you sort of plan things out with them long term?
Like for the
you
day?
know what I mean? No, not for the day, but sort of a vision for their life, if you will.
No. I mean, I don't think that far ahead with them. Like, I don't know. I kind of want them to be able to make their own paths. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my parents and a lot of parents from like our generation were kind of like, well, you're going to college. Boom. You know? And I'm like, yeah, thanks for the debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have definitely skipped out on this.
You're going to make me go, you might as well pay for it.
Right.
Too,
okay. Like, shoot, I had scholarships and I still got debt. So I'm just like, whatever. But I just want them to be able to kind of pick their own path. And I don't know. I try to enjoy the stage they're in now. I try not to look ahead because it goes by so fast. So I'm just like, okay, they're toddlers. Focus on toddlers. Right now I'm thinking about school, though, because I'm like, listen, I need my time to work, okay? We got to do this thing. I mean...
So are you with them full time?
I am. And trying to balance, you know, video recording and stuff. It's hard. I'm just like, I need some help. And I don't want them to go to daycare. Yeah. So we're just like, okay, we got to do a school because...
Ooh, girl. I'm bowing down to you because I know that's rough all day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I don't want to give them like up, so I'm like just gonna do 3 days out the week, but at the same time, even though I value our time together, I know that I need some space. Because after a while, you know what I'm saying, you just start feeling like a psycho. You're just like, oh my God, I just need a second to myself. I'm introverted, so I'm like, I just need a second, you know?
Leave me alone.
Can I go hide in the bathtub? Like, what can I do? So yeah, but I mean, I love them so much, and I really do like value being able to see them grow. But I'm just like, girl, it's time for you to go to school, okay? You know, but you got, and they are talking about it. Like, Mommy, can I go see my teacher? I'm
yes.
like, what teacher? We'll find you one. Just hold on. You know?
Don't worry. I will get you right to that teacher.
Right. So we're ready. We're ready for it.
Do you have any fears around parenting?
Honestly, I guess just that I wouldn't be a good mom in their eyes, you know? I want them to see me as a good mom, you know? So I guess I just try my best to do that, but that's, I guess, my worst fear, that they would be like, my mom was a horrible mother. Like, what? I want to have a good legacy with them. I want our relationship to be just good, really good.
I mean, yeah, and it can be, and it will be, but I think like there is always a little bit of like friction, and you're like, no kid, no matter how perfect you are as a parent, as a mom, like, no kid is going to be unscathed in some way. You know what I'm saying? I
want this analysis to happen when they're like 23. I feel like that's when you know, when you're an adult.
Right.
I mean, I don't care about the teenage version or the little kid version. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm your mama, not your friend.
Whatever. Yeah.
But, when they get older, I'm like, that's when I want them to be like, hey, Mom, thank you. Like, I really value our relationship. I want us to be able to talk and me to be able to be there for them no matter what. I think about my legacy more than anything else.
So tell me about your blog.
Okay, so yeah, I created Asia May Beauty, which is now, an LLC, if I might say so myself.
Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, I started back in 2013, or actually, yeah, it was 2013, December. I started off just doing YouTube, making natural hair videos, and I eventually evolved into makeup and branching out into other things. But it's been a pretty dope ride. I just create motivational content, try to inspire women to love themselves, embrace themselves, and to be bold while doing it. So it's kind of where I am right now, just branching out.
So what do you talk about? What, like skincare, hair care?
Yeah. So yeah, right now, a lot of my focus is skincare, hair care, and I also have brought in fashion. So like a lot of my content takes place on Instagram. A lot of my content though is just meant to inspire and encourage. So one thing that I plan on implementing onto my YouTube channel to resurrect it is makeup and motivation, which I've already done in the past, but I'm just trying to like make it fresh, renew. It'll be stuff like this, just talking about life and doing makeup.
I love it.
Yeah, just simple.
My goal is to be makeup free.
Really? Forever, like Alicia Keys?
Not forever, ever. Like, I mean, if I'm going to the Oscars, I'll probably throw some eyeshadow and some eyeliner on or something. Yeah. That wasn't shade on Alicia, by the way. That was not shade. All I'm saying is, I don't want to do it on a daily basis. Yeah. And so I've been really trying to like take care of my skin and like switch over to all natural products and stuff like that so that I can eventually get there.
Cool.
I'm not there yet, but like that's my goal over the next like 4 or 5 months is just like I'm gonna go completely makeup free. So when you guys start seeing me on the gram, don't be like, you look tired. Have you ever not put on makeup and then somebody sees you like, you look tired? I'm like, I just don't have eyeliner on. Calm down. Dang.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
The issue?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really wear makeup like that, honestly. I just do it creatively. So, like, most of the time, I'm walking around with, like, 6 dookie braids and some sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my everyday life.
You're like, this makeup is for the gram.
It's just for the gram, just for creativity. Like, I started the Brown Girl swatches. That's what made me fall into, like, makeup for real, fall in love with it. I would just swatch on my arm and, like, draw on my arm, like, eye looks and stuff. It worked. I mean, it landed me on some PR lists. So,
that's dope.
Yeah. So, like, for me, makeup is just art. It's just expression.
And where can people find your Instagram or your blog or your YouTube once you get back on?
Okay, yeah. Everything's at Asea Mae, ASEAMAE. And yeah, that's where I am everywhere. And then, of course, if you're into makeup, you can check me out at thebrownGirlSwatches.com and at thebrownGirlSwatches on Instagram.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm real easy to find.
Well, thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
I love you and your husband's story.
Thanks. You know, I'm glad
Normally I say don't get married till 30, but it sounds like you guys are right for each other.
Yeah, you know, it worked out, you know.
And thank you guys so much for listening tonight. Please reach out to me at Tanisha Wood on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and let me know what you think of tonight's show. And until next time, wish me love. Hello again, my lovely listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of DRL. If you like the show, be sure to go on iTunes and leave a rating and also write a review. And don't forget to share with your friends and tell them all about DRL. Thank you so much for supporting.